Hello everybody. I am in the middle of magnetizing my miniatures bases, and the purpose of magnetizing a miniatures bases is for transportation reasons. At least for me it is anyway. I like to magnetize them, that is to put a little tiny magnet on the bottom, so that I can then take a piece of very thin sheet metal I get from Home Depot for 10 bucks or so, and when they're magnetized, you can put them on the sheet metal, and that way they're not banging around when you go to transport them. So I can drive them to whatever location, and they're all perfectly safe. They don't move or budge an inch. They don't rub up against each other. They don't bounce around and jostle. Protect those precious paint jobs. And I've heard some people try to do this and they got frustrated because one thing that happens is if the magnets are polarized the opposite direction, they're attracted to one another. As you can see, magnets have this special thing where if they're polarized the same, they want to attach to each other. So when you do this magnetizing to your bases, if they're magnetized the same, the magnets want to attach to each other, and so you wind up with a whole bunch of miniatures that you've spent hours on that all want to sit on top of each other or join like this, touching each other's bases, and that can be really, really frustrating. So what do you do when you want the benefit of this kind of security and transportation, but without all the but remember which side of the magnet to glue down so that you don't get this whole attraction thing. So I figured out a solution that works for me and thought it might help somebody else. And that is, I put the magnet down. I don't know which end is up. I don't know which end is the north or south pole on it. And I've got a fake base, or I've got a base that's not being used for anything. I put right there. Right? Notice how I put the magnet directly in the middle of that crosshair. I put my base down so that the magnet is touching the edge there. I'm going to take my miniature that already has a magnet glued to it. So if you start with one for your whole army, that kind of sets the pattern for the rest. I come up close to the base. And you see how it's moved from the center to the side. So it was repelled by the other magnet instead of being attracted. You don't have to be very precise with it. You could even just put the base on top, push it around so you know it's on that edge. Right? And now if the magnetization is, or if their poles are opposite and they're attracted to one another, the magnet will still be here because it was trying to be pulled to that magnet. If they're opposite, the magnet will be on the other side, close to here. So again, other side. So that's how I know that the polarization is set up so that they will not attract to each other when I go to magnetize them. I'm using very thick gel super glue, and I put a big dollop on top of that magnet. I'm going to take my Free Guild Guard musician here. One thing that's tricky is I put a metal pin in it to pin one of the feet down to the base to make it stable. Got to make sure I don't set it down on top of that pin. Press it down. Here's a tricky thing to get on camera. I'm going to smush it down into that super glue, so you get a nice divot around the sides. Right? That's why you use gel super glue and put so much on top, so that you kind of smush the magnet down onto the base, or smush the base down on top of the magnet, whichever way. But I'm going to do this for all of my Free Guild Guard. And when I'm all done, they'll all be magnetized, and they'll all stick to this nice little piece of metal. All right. I hope anybody that wants to magnetize the miniatures will get some benefit from this. Comment if you have any questions or if there's anything I can do to help. I hope you all have a wonderful day.